So, this is me being the true final boss of Octopathtraveler. We have two parts to this boss with a phase 1 and phase 2. I have a dedicated strat and setup for these fights as thanks to another creator on YouTube who had a video that inspired and helped me. Their channel is on screen right now, and a link is in the description should you want to check them out further. So initially, what you want to do is make sure every single character has a set role in the fights and stick to that method, rinse and repeat until complete. So for phase 1, I'm currently using Alfin as a way to buff Tressa via his divine skill of Dota's Charity. What this does is make it that whenever Tressa uses an item, it gives the same perks to the entire party while not using the item 4 times, for example. So this is really useful for the jams and the pomegranates, keeps that SP, BP and HP all looking nice. That's her job. Cyrus is going to be our main damage unit that you're going to see for phase 1. So I've given him the Bishop Staff, which increases his light damage because this boss has a weakness to light. Yeah, by using his skill that is Lux Conjurer, however you say it, by using that skill, it will do light damage 3 times. So that will whittle away the shield, and then when the character is broken, it will do even more damage. I think it's around 10k if the shields are up, and 15k, 15.5k when broken. So Cyrus is doing the damage, and we're gonna need it because, you know, it's a beefy boss. 500,000 HP I think this boss has. So to then echo off of Cyrus, we are boosting Cyrus via Therion and the Cleric Divine skill, which is Aelfric's Allspices. What that will do, it makes any skills used by the chosen person to trigger twice. So instead of Cyrus hitting him with 3 light attacks in a row, he's going to hit them with 6. So yeah, consider that if you're max boosting it for the 3 attacks, that's going to do 15k per turn, times that by 6, we could be hitting 90,000 plus damage per turn when he's maxed out. Whittle down that 500,000 HP, that's going to be glorious. So on top of that, then as you can see, aside from the individual roles that the party has, I found that you don't need to do the rebuffs, you know, Dotas, Aelfrics, you don't need to do that every single turn, so you can kind of mess about, figure things out. So Therion has dagger attacks, the eye is weak to those. Alfin has axe attacks, the eye is weak to those. So if you want to get to a point where you're breaking down shields, you have the ability to do it. You've just got to make sure you're sticking to what you're doing and making sure Cyrus is doing that damage. That's the main aim of this. However, one thing to keep in mind is sometimes if souls are summoned around, you can see them here on the screen, if the souls are summoned in the fight, the eye sometimes is locked off, and that means it will not take any breakpoints even if you're using a weakness that it has, okay? So you want to keep an eye out because sometimes the souls will be there and it will be locked, other times souls will be there and it will be unlocked. When it is unlocked, your priority should be the eye before the souls because the eye is going to do the most damage. And yeah, you just want to contain the eye. Just be aware of what's going on screen. Take time to breathe, assess the situation, and you should be good. So, as you can see here, we've been going through, as I've been yapping at you, we've been going through that phase of making sure Tressa has Dotas, she's doing jams or pomegranates on everyone, making sure people are healed. Therion is keeping Cyrus topped up with the auspices, which means when he's doing Lux Conjurer, it's doing that increased damage, it's hitting 6 times. Very nice. So you see here, 15.8, 15.4, it's solid damage that's gonna whittle this down to a shorter fight than it could be if you're not going in with a strategy. And yeah, just main aim with Cyrus, BP needs to be up and SP needs to be up, and obviously the Allspices, and then you're good. Auspices? I don't know. I don't know how I say that word actually. But anyway, you get what I mean. So yeah, as you can see, I'm pretty much in this consistent kind of state of flow. Not really having to think too much about what I want to do. Here or there you see me pause a little bit, like here I'm like, do I put on a light rune? Do I go for the heal, etc.? But yeah, do what you feel's best. Tressa's going in with jams, absolutely fine, gets the job done. Alphin, are we going for another? Oh, I went for the I picked the wrong class there. There we go, the Dotas. But yeah, the main aim is just be aware of your surroundings and take your time. Don't feel afraid to take your time with this, because phase 1 with the build and the strategy that I am using is the longest of the 2 phases. So phase 2 will be a lot shorter than this one. And it's just because of the HP on this one. This guy's got 500,000 and I believe the second one has 180,000. It's a big difference. Still big damage, don't get me wrong, still big health pools, but yeah, this first phase is definitely a bit tricky. So as you can see here, as we're chipping away at the health, it's kind of like me debating what I should be doing. And the fun part about this fight, and the reason I'm uploading it, is because some parts of this fight go wrong. They're not perfect, they're not 100% great, and I could have redone the fight, but I was like, you know, I'm going to upload it with a few mistakes just to show people, as long as you're aware of what you should be doing and what each character's role is in this fight, you can still make it through the other side. Like, absolutely do not fret, do not worry. It might throw you off, and I think there's a point coming up, which I'll narrate when we get there, but you can kind of see me pause and be like, what should I do? And if you get to that point, do not worry. Like I say, just be aware of what each party member should be doing, and then you should be fine. Here, this is a fun one if you want to mess around. Put a transfer rune on Tressa, because I've given her the Rune Lord role. And then once she's got the transfer rune on, put a light rune on. So if anyone attacks with a melee weapon, any melee weapon, it will then follow up with a light attack. So if the shield's up, it's going to knock away an extra part of that shield. If the shield is broken, it's just going to do some extra damage. The boss is weak to light, why not, you know what I mean?
Out of my way.
You might be able to see that here actually. Do I go for a... Yeah, here we go, watch. And it's going to... Very nice. Doesn't do crazy damage, but any extra damage that you can do, or like just there with Alpha, if you can get break, that's what we want to be doing. Cyrus is coming in, it's going to hit 15. Yeah, look at that. Very consistent. I know the numbers aren't exactly the same each hit, but it's very consistent in the 15,000, so we take those back to back. Here we go. Yeah, see, that's not going to hit as much because we didn't have full boost. Almost hitting 12k per hit. It adds up. Everything adds up in this. While you're observing this, there's not really much more I can talk about right now until something maybe happens. But yeah, this boss is brilliant. I think obviously part 2 is the more important parts of the boss, which is Galdera, the fallen god, and it links in everything you've been building up to with this game. If you want to fight this boss, you need to have all 8 characters. Chapter 4's beaten, so you've kind of gone through everything that they've gone through, and you can kind of, little characters overlap, interact, and it's really cool to see the crossovers, and especially the crossover leading to this final boss with Kit. I think is brilliantly implemented, because you slowly, it's a giant puzzle, Octopathtraveler. It's quite genius actually. You're slowly piecing together that puzzle and figuring out, okay, yeah, these people might not be inherently working together, but their purpose and their reason for their journeys does overlap quite heavily, and I think that's really cool. I think that's really fun. So this point of the battle, it seems quite intimidating with the numbers over your head. Essentially what will happen if you haven't broken the enemy that's related to your number by that many turns, they're gonna do a ridiculous attack on you that I think one-shots you. I can't fully remember, if I'm being honest. But just take your time. Be aware of what you need to do. Just try it. Even if they're not weak to the light damage of Lux, use it regardless, because that's going to be one of your best damages to hit everybody. Like there we go. Wiped a few of them out. So yeah, just make that your aim. You don't always... The thing with Octopath, I think some people worry that they don't have either a weapon or an element that's going to break. Sometimes you just need someone that's going to do good damage, and that will cover your inability to break. So yeah, just play to... there you go, Cyrus. Cyrus got taken out, but do not worry. Like I say, we are endgame. When you're in endgame, do not be afraid to use your resources. Use your pomegranates, use your olive of life L's, use your revitalizing jams, refreshing jams, whatever you need to do, use it in this fight, because, like, there's not much you can do after this fight in the game, if I'm being honest with you. Nothing that's going to cause you to need all these, like, you know, resources. Like, use them. Use your jams, use your pomegranates, use your olive of life. Like, you're good. You're not going to regret it, put it that way. You are not going to regret using these to say that you've beaten this boss. Here we go, Evil Eye. This is where I kind of panicked a little bit. I wasn't anticipating Alphen being turned to stone. But I kind of was like, okay, we'll just carry on as we are. Tressa, as you can see, she has 7 stacks of Dotas. So she's covered for 7 turns with Alphen turned to stone. She's good. Cyrus has got 3 of the auspices, so he's also good too. This one might even... Is this one the deathly blow? Oh no, maybe it's next round. Hold on. Yeah, maybe it's next turn. But yeah, don't be panicked. I'm curious actually as well. If you're watching and enjoying hearing me yap and you're an Octopath fan, do you know, are you able to undo the Evil Eye stun? I've not even tried to attempt and see if I can unpetrify him, I guess would be the word, and turn him away from stone. I'm not sure. This could be the one. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. So that's the final blow to phase 1. Good job, Cyrus. Alright, Evil Eye. Absolutely done. I hope that was a easy enough strat to follow, and I hope my yapping wasn't upsetting you too much or causing too much of a disturbance. So, now we approach phase 2. This is the guy we are truly after, the 13th god of Galdera, aka Galdera the Fallen. We're wanting to make sure this guy is sealed away for good, and we have the strategy for this too. I will warn you, this phase is sometimes RNG, so you gotta kind of be patient with it and just master that first phase. I'll be honest with you, you might have to work a little bit harder in this one, but less damage is needed from this, and if you're using Harnett like I am, you should be good. So make sure Harnett has enough to do a full boost. And she's just the star of the show. She's in the Warmaster job, and it's got a brilliant divine skill. Winhild's battle cry. You're going to see it right now. Watch this. Watch this. We've got a couple of things standing out. Boom, 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 boom. Finish. Bam. Right. There you go. It's taken away, I believe, three big things that could have done huge damage to the party there. So we only now have to focus on that arm, which is good. So this phase is just less daunting. Like I say, 180,000 HP is still a lot, but in comparison to 500,000 HP, I think we're good. So yeah, RNG helps in this, because this boss can be very deadly. You will see at some point what it is capable of, maybe in a second. But yeah, Harnett, the reason, if you're wondering why is Harnett at 1 HP, basically I gave her a skill called, oh god, I'll have to put it on screen, I can't remember what it's called, but what that does is the lower her HP, the higher the damage she deals. So that comes in clutch for this fight, and the beauty of it is, if she gets killed, you know, if she gets hit with the one shot, you know, a revive, a basic revive will put her back at 1 HP anyway. You just gotta put the pomegranates back on. Here, after that damage, it took everyone down to 1 HP. I'm kind of here debating what I should do with Olberic, and essentially it's like, who, if everyone gets killed, which one person do I want to stay alive? And I'm like, you know what, get the get it out, Ophelia, Here you go. Because Ophelia is the cleric, so if everyone else dies, she can revive all 3 of us at once, which I think is great. But I don't think we're gonna need that, if I'm being honest with you. So putting that pomegranate onto Harnett, beautiful. Yeah, this could be it, maybe? Or maybe there's one more in it, let's have a look. Oh, that damage though. This isn't even me maxing her out. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Yeah, so that's not even a maxed out Harnett. There are some people that are more strategic than me that could get that hitting 99,000 damage per hit. I'm not at that point. But here we go. Galdera is like pleading and being like, "No, I'm more powerful. Don't lock me away." Essentially, here wakes up little Kit. So this is from the side quest that we've been doing since the start of the game, which I think is really cool. That this ties in from that opening area of the game. Really nice. Really, really nice. Yeah. Little Kit. So, essentially, if you don't know the story, Kit wants to be reunited with his father. His father, sadly, came to the gate of Finis to explore, and they tried to possess him with the spirit of Galdera to seek malice on the world, and that failed. But Graham did tend to the Red Eye, which in Harnett's chapter we did defeat. So we essentially killed Kit's dad unbeknowingly, which is quite tragic. But we freed him from the shackles of being this evil monster Red Eye. So we kind of did the right thing, even though it's sad for Kit. But I think that's a really nice side quest. It's a bit morbid, but it wraps up the stories together beautifully, and it takes you back. It's kind of a cyclical thing of you going back to the beginning of the game, meeting Kit. So it's nice. Sealed away the darkness once more, you know, until the next person wants to open up the gates. But yeah, what a great game. For life is a journey. The places you go, the deeds you do, the tales whose hero you become. Every road is yours to take. So journey forth, friend, into this great world we live in, and find an adventure all your own. There you go, that's enough for me. Thank you. If you like this, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.